in the end, it came to the topic of money. The author is Colleen Hoover. I don't know if you are in a specific position. Oh, yeah, actually, I remembered. My lecturer today had COVID, so we had an online lecture or a seminar, and we were talking about a lot of things, but in the end, it came to the topic of money and how it is kind of a taboo topic in society because, yeah, I don't know why, but it is, and nobody really talks about it. It's hard to ask people what they are making for a living. It's even hard to talk about what exactly you're doing in your job or how much you work and anything that goes into too much details, which does make sense, of course. But then the money side of things is also not really spoken about. And yeah, we thought that's also kind of sad because even in our seminars, we're not learning anything about that. Anything about numbers, although of course when you are in the real work environment you have to know how to calculate certain numbers, and if you want to do specific things, projects, yeah, anything like that. And yeah, I think it's a really interesting topic because I for myself even have sometimes a problem to talk about money and think about money. It's like basically just a means, but sometimes for me, I don't know, I'm kind of scared of the topic, and I think it's very interesting. I think there are different people, and some people would agree and some wouldn't. But yeah, it has a lot to do with society and societal norms and how you should act and behave and how you shouldn't. And it's just very interesting in general, like how many things are norms which could easily be changed as well. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about that on here because it just made me think again about the fact that it is a means, but that doesn't mean that you have to think about it in a bad way, because at least right now it's how we live, and a lot of life isn't like living isn't possible without a certain kind of money, which is a problem as well. But that's just how society is at the moment. So why shouldn't we talk about it if that's the way our society is structured? Why shouldn't we want to get informed and shouldn't be able to get the information we want to have? And I think a lot of people are also bored with it or just not interested in that, and I can totally understand that position. But I think it's just, yeah, it's like a lot of topics in society that are taboos and aren't really talked about. And sometimes it's especially these topics that it's okay to talk about and maybe like not make it as a big deal or talk about it every time or something, but still just, yeah, it's a part of life. It's okay to talk about it, I guess. And yeah, now I'm going on with my day, and I'll see you later. I'm not sure if I have one that actually changed my life, but there is definitely one. I don't actually know the English title because I've read it in German first, and then I read her other books or a lot of her other books in English. But yeah, the author is Colleen Hoover, and I think a lot of people nowadays already know about her because she kind of got famous with her one novel, but I've already known her before or known her writing style and some of her books. And yeah, I read one of her books, maybe it's like called Slammed or something, I'm not sure. And it was just very beautifully written, and also it brought me to Poetry Slam. I wish I would go to these events more often, but still I have gone to still a few, and I wouldn't have done that. I don't even think I would have known otherwise. Like maybe I would have, but I didn't know how much I would actually like this kind of art. And yeah, so I'm really grateful for that. I think one thing definitely is that I can actually listen and that I'm interested and there for other people by listening. And actually, we were talking about this in class. Everybody had to say something that makes them special, and it was really hard for people at first. And we were talking about how hard it is to name things that we are proud of or that we are good at. And yeah, so I want to start it here because I think it's a very good quality to have, and it's just very good for ourselves to not always talk bad about ourselves, but also know, I mean, we will be with ourselves for the rest of our lives. So yes, we are our worst critics, but we should also show ourselves some love and be kind to ourselves as well. So I'm not sure actually what my first concert was. I think it was some casting show, and there were a lot of different people, which I didn't even watch that show, so I didn't even know the people. But then they, of course, always sang cover songs, and then you knew the songs, and it was kind of fun. And we went with the whole family, kind of. So yeah, it was. I remember it was a fun evening, and I already started to like concerts and hearing people sing, like not just via headphones. And then after that, I think I went to quite a few concerts, and every one of them was very special to me in different ways. I also went to kind of not every concert, but I went with a few different people because it really depends on the type of music. Often it's not really the same people. Well, sometimes it really matches, but then other times it doesn't. I also have been to one by myself, but I'm quite sure that this year I will go to at least one concert alone, but maybe even more, and we will see. I really like the atmosphere of concerts, and it's a great way to spend your money and your time, I think. Yeah, and my favorite one. Wow, that's so hard. I wish I could say maybe even no, that's not true. I really like the last one that I went to. It's not been my favorite because every one of them kind of was my favorite, or at least a lot of them. I liked the last one because there were so many different artists. So there were like two artists at first, and then there was the main act. And I really liked it because I didn't know the first one, but I knew the second one, and she was already great. And then the main act was, of course, the reason why I went there, but still, I really liked it. And it was also summertime, so it was outside, and that was so great. I would say ask less is what can you do with what you're studying, or what do you want to be with that, or just in general. Because I think it's already hard enough nowadays to find what you want to do in your life. Like, I'm not talking about your career or job, but there are so many other things as well. And other people don't have to make it harder. I mean, you're already asking yourself that question, and you will tell people if you know. And I mean, sometimes it might be nice of them to ask, but sometimes it's also just, yeah, maybe put yourselves in the shoes of the other person. Would you want to have other people ask you that question? Probably not. Because if you have something, then you can talk about it, but not if you're still on the track and still finding out what it is that you actually like. And I mean, it depends on the person as well, but it's just been like that for me for a while. I mean, as you get older, of course, you have a clearer vision, but it also changes a lot, and it's just, yeah, it's just not something that I want to get asked. And one that I would like to get asked more often, it's interesting. I actually thought about it before and I came up with something, but now I can't remember. I definitely wouldn't mind more talks about music or traveling, like what was your favorite experience, but that's also hard. Because sometimes in the moment I really don't know what's your favorite song. I don't know. But just in general, I like talking about these topics. Oh yeah, actually I remembered. Maybe, do you want to come for a road trip? Are you free? Or I want to just sit in the car and listen to music. Do you want to come? I'm thinking about ordering pizza. What about we watch the sunset and eat it? Or yeah, let's go to the sea. Are you free? I don't know, anything like not too spontaneous always, I think. Sometimes it's also okay to have that planned a bit, but just a bit more spontaneous, and also just things that make you appreciate life. Yeah, so that would be my answer. Okay, so actually that's already the last one. And I don't remember the words. Like, I know the main message, but I want to show you the whole quote as well. So that's already it. I hope you liked it, and I shall see you soon. Bye!